You're watching the Running Report show. I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Possible, here to give you running news produced for and by the culture. We were at the New York Grand Prix, only 10 days out from the most competitive national championship in the world. USA is happening this Thursday, and stick around and you're gonna hear from 3 former world champions and US champions from this past year about their preparation going into USA's, their goals in the USA's and worlds, and plus at the end of this video I'm gonna analyze some of my favorite races that you need to look out for. We talked to so many other people, so man, pretty much let me get you hyped for USA's. Before we start, we have to go to our running reporter Aaron Potts, who was at Icon Stadium getting all our interviews with these amazing athletes.
I'm here at the historic Icon Stadium for the New York Grand Prix, and I'm so excited to see some of the best athletes compete 2 weeks before USA's. And particularly, I gotta start off with Formula Kersee. That's a team with Athing, Mo, with Sydney, McLaughlin, Larone, with Jenna Prandini, Brandon Miller, Ken Harrison, just so many Olympians and greatness. So let's see how they do. And then we got Noah Lyles, the American record holder in the 200. He's gonna be racing. Where is he at this point in his season? And I can't forget about Christian Coleman. I know he wants redemption from last year, so I'm excited to see how he's feeling before USA's. But before we go into those interviews, let me throw it back to Joshua in the studio.
You guys are in a treat to hear from these high-level athletes and their mindset going to USA's. But it makes you really think how he was saying 2 weeks out from USA's. I was saying in the intro, this is the most competitive national championship in the world, and these pro athletes are still deciding the race 2 weeks out from it. Why? Why are they racing? Aaron Potts asked Aleia Hobbs why she's racing the New York Grand Prix, and she was all about the fans.
It's the fans, like even just coming out, like walking into the track, all the kids was out there, like you can get pictures, autographs. I mean, get on the track, the crowd cheering, finish the race, they going crazy. So I mean, that itself just gives you a motivation. The
way Aleia Hobbs has been running over the past year, I would have been trying to get her autograph too during the warm-up. She has been a beast. The women's 100 is must-see TV, especially with sha'carri running super great, Tamari Davis running great, Melissa Jefferson had a breakout race at New York Grand Prix. But wait, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to talk about the women's 200 because we had another exciting race there too. Abby Steiner won it in 22:19, and she talked to Aaron about how she really wanted to build off a New York Grand Prix into a really competitive 200 going into at USA's.
Coming in with a win, just kind of continuing to build on the race plan, gain confidence against a lot of the people I'm going to see in 2 weeks.
Last year at this time, Abby Steiner was number 2 in the world going to USA's with a time of 21:80 that she ran at NCAA to break the collegiate record and get that championship. This year, going to USA's, she's number 7 in the world and number 4 in the US. This is not to say that Abby Steiner is having a less of a season or anything like that, but she is the defending US champion. There's going to be different circumstances for Abby Steiner going into this, and this is her first year as a professional athlete, just a whole different environment in general. Abby Steiner is fully aware of this and talked to about it with Aaron.
Do you feel any pressure coming in as like a newly minted pro this year?
I don't. I feel like a freshman all over again, honestly. I think I really just had to let go of last season. You know, the most important thing is just kind of buying into this pro process, this new training, this new cycle of peaking. So yeah, I just kind of got to let go of that and kind of find my place in this pro era.
As Abby Steiner is getting used to her pro era, Athing Mo is fully adapted to it. Like, she's basically kicking up with her feet up, second year as being a pro. She comes out 11 months after a Hayward Field victory in the 800 and comes out and dominates the New York Grand Prix in a time of 1:58, winning the entire thing. She caught up with Aaron and she really talked about how Bobby just wanted her to get used to the environment only 10 days out from USA's.
I think Bobby just most of all wanted me to get out there, kind of just experience the field a little more, just get a chance to feel the environment before we get into the bigger championships, and this means exactly what it did. And so, I mean, no, I'm not really worried about USA's or I'm not worried about Worlds. I think we're on a great pace, and I know Bobby knows exactly what he's doing. So
that Bobby Athing Mo was talking about was Bobby Kersee. He also trained Sydney McLaughlin and the whole Formula Kersee group. group, including Kenny Harrison and Jenny Prandini, who raced at this meet as well. Sydney McLaughlin ran her second 400 meter of the season in a time of 49.5, the 10th fastest ever in U.S. history. Sydney McLaughlin was really at New York Grand Prix to take a more conservative approach to her whole entire 400.
I mean, just going out a little more conservative to kind of feel the back end a little bit better. I think we did a good job of that. Still some things to clean up, but a PR is a PR.
As we start to transition to some of the goals that these athletes have at USA's, we talked to our last Formula Kersee member, Kenny Harrison, the winner of the 100-meter hurdles and the former 100-meter hurdle world record holder, was at the New York Grand Prix, and she really talked about how, like, Bobby knows the goal. Bobby, they trust Bobby. I think Mo even kind of alluded to it, saying that Bobby knows exactly what he's doing. When you're on that group, trust Bobby. He knows what he's doing, and Bobby knows the goal.
Training's been going awesome. You know, Bobby, he's really precise on what meets he wants me to do. You know, I'm not going to run a lot because my training is really aggressive, and it's kind of like mock meets. You know, for this to be my 4th race this season, and I'm, you know, running really well. I'm really happy with it. And again, I think the goal is just to stay healthy. And, you know, Bobby said I run a clean race, I'm on the team. So it's just like, you just got to listen to him, and you know, I'm pretty confident.
Bobby knows.
Bobby knows.
Just as much as Bobby Kersee knows what he wants from these girls going to USA's and Worlds, let me tell you, it's just as much as Gabby Thomas knows that her body is in tip-top shape going into this season. Last year, coming off that bronze medal in the 200 and the Olympics, Gabby Thomas was not in tip-top shape going to USA's. She tore her hamstring and couldn't compete to her full capability. Now going to USA's at New York Grand Prix, she ran an 11:08 in the 100, doubled back and ran a 50.29 in the 400. She's a 200 runner. She's unreal at this moment. Gabby Thomas knows what she wants. Gabby knows she wants gold.
But it's like, what is your hunger coming into this season?
I know. I mean, this time last year I had just torn my hamstring and it was heartbreaking, and I had to come back and finish that season. I came back and ran the Diamond League final, got second to Shrika Jackson. So
that's not bad.
Not too bad, but really disappointing and not what I wanted for myself. So this year I'm going to come back and try to do it all. I mean, I'm going for gold.
Moving from a task-oriented goal that Gabby Thomas had, let's talk about Melissa Jefferson. She's our defending 100-meter champion on the women's side, who really came out in a surprise victory. Aaron caught up with her after a race, and a breakthrough race for her this year. She talks about how it's been kind of up and down in her first year as a pro, but she's really learning, and what she's mainly been learning is her goal is trying to live in the present.
I want to see you on the medal stand, but how are you feeling about your chances this year?
I'm excited. I'm learning to just live in the moment and not focus so much on the future. You know, the goal of our sport is to look forward. Yeah. But if you don't take a time to reflect at where you are now and, you know, cherish where you are, then it's all gonna pass by, and then you're not gonna have a chance to just look back and say, oh man, that really did happen. You know, so that's the thing I'm most looking forward to.
All right, let's stop talking about goals, preparation, and all that type of stuff. It's time for USA's. This Thursday, it's starting. The women's 100-meter rounds also start this Thursday. We just talked to the defending champion, Melissa Jefferson. She's living in the present, and believe me, in the present, it is scary for the women's 100, and Aleia Hobbs agrees.
What are you most excited about at USA's?
The heat, the competition. It's gonna be a fast one. So.
Yeah, y'all got a lot lining up.
Yeah, we deep. We deep.
Yeah.
The field is hot. The field is deep, and that is mainly because of sha'carri Richardson. She's looking like that girl. She absolutely is. She ran 10.7 this year already. Then we have Tamari Davis, who's really coming into her own this year. She came straight out of high school, but now she's looking like that true pro. Aleia Hobbs has been dominant throughout the whole thing. And then Melissa Jefferson, she's starting to come into her own. Our defending champion is looking more like the defending champion of last year. So if she is looking dangerous, the whole entire field is gonna be dangerous. It's really wide open. Will sha'carri be able to still have her feet under her and be that girl? Will Aleia Hobbs get the win? I think it's still a wide open race, and anybody can win, just like we had that surprise of Melissa Jefferson last year. Next up, I want to talk about the men's 100 now, and this field at the moment is kind of looking wide open. Fred Kerley won't be running all the rounds at the US Championship, so that leaves open determine who's going to be that champion in the 100. Leading right now in U.S. rankings, we have PJ Austin and Courtney Lindsay, who are both in the NCAA right now. And then we still have Christian Coleman, who raced at New York Grand Prix, who obviously can fill in that favored role. But Christian Coleman didn't have the best race at New York Grand Prix, and he still wants to just look back at the film because that 100 race wasn't really it.
What did you learn from this meet that you're gonna take into USA's?
Just gotta go back and look at the film, really.
Yeah.
I felt all right. I didn't execute my best race, and so we'll go back to the lab, look at the film, and be better for it. So I feel good about it, though, honestly.
There, we still have Christian Coleman, like I said. We got Trayvon Bromell, and we have Marvin Bracy Williams, who were all in the World Championship final last year. And then I have to add in Cravon Charleston as well. This dude has been having a breakthrough season, just ran a 9.90, but then the foregone conclusion for this race is Noah Lyles. And he's starting better than ever. He has one of the best closes ever because he's the third fastest 200 runner of all time. And his confidence is on an all-time high. Just listen to the way this man talks. He's ready.
You're one of those dudes that's a leader for these younger peeps too. The whole crowd is following you over here. Did you always felt like that, even when you're like 17, 18?
Oh yeah. I remember watching 2015 World Championships, and I was just looking at him like, yeah, give me one more year and I'm gonna be, breaking all these guys. So I'm pro in the very next year, and after 2017, I never let go of the world lead.
You're talking about that 100. You want to get in there. You want to make a statement. How are you feeling about the matchup with Fred Curley, with Coleman, Bracy, all of those guys? We swept last year in the 100.
Yeah. I'm ready. Plain and simple. I'm ready.
Last thing I want to talk about are upsets, and upsets. All in the distance races. Like, honestly, I don't know who's going to win any of the distance races. Like, it's super up in the air. Just looking at the men's 800 that raced at the New York Grand Prix, Bryce Hoppel has been the favorite for a minute, but like, he didn't win last year. You feel me? And then Clayton Murphy beat him at the LA Grand Prix as well. And then looking at the men's 1500 and 5000, like, Bowerman has been beat up a lot as well. And then I'm like, is Cooper Tier gonna win? Is Cole Hawker gonna win? Is Wayne Kaladi gonna make her first team? Is Taylor Warner or Fiona O'Keefe gonna make a team to 10,000? There's just so much different things going on in distance races that, like, I really can't get to all of them. But I feel like the ones that's gonna be really exciting, really open the air, is gonna be the men's and women's 1500 meters. I feel like Sinclair Johnson and Cooper Tier have good chances of repeating as our 1500 meter champions, but there's just so many people looking for their title. It's gonna be really exciting. I'm hyped for USA's. You guys need to make sure you check this out Thursday through Sunday at USA's. Follow along with these stories and make sure you come back to the Running Report for our Running Report show recovering USA's. We'll be out there getting interviews just like this. Man, I'm excited. I'm hyped. We'll see y'all next time on the Running Report show. Let's get it.